We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that, and we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down.
What we are doing in the state right now is making sure that the president and those folks in Washington who are thinking about sending troops on the ground in a major American city is that they understand that no one wants them to come, that crime is down, murders in particular, down 50% in the city of Chicago.
Let's take Chicago right now. You had how many presidents wanted to tackle crime in Chicago? You had a president that was from Chicago, was a state senator in Chicago. And he, as president in 2 terms, did absolutely nothing to tackle crime in Chicago. So now, if you got a person from Chicago choosing not to tackle crime in Chicago, what does that say about their intent and their administration? Fast forward to now. You have a president now that wants to tackle crime in all major cities in the U.S. Now, there's a biblical term for that. You know, if a man wants to start, cleaning up his situation, you start at home. You start in the U.S. before we go abroad. Let's clean up our own mess. So where did he start? He started in D.C. Notice how the media, Cap News Network, does not go into the community. They don't put boots on the ground. And if they do, they selectively interview and post selective interviews that supports their narrative. Keep in mind now, if you want the real story, why don't you go to the people that are affected the most by crime? We know where the crime is. It's in the inner cities. So why aren't these news organizations going into these major inner cities and talking directly to the people and asking them, how do they feel about crime? Is crime down in your neighborhood?
When I got here, the prosecutor before me, the Biden prosecutor, did not paper something like 65% of the arrests. When I got here, the prosecutor before me, the Biden prosecutor, did not paper something like 65% of the arrests. That means that when police made an arrest, the prosecutor wouldn't even prosecute. My papering rate is 92%. Those cops make an arrest, I've got their back. I'm going to file those charges. And whatever happens, so be it. But they know right now that we're going to fight the fight. I've got prosecutors now who understand what my mission is, who know that our job is to prosecute crime. I came into this office, we're down 90 prosecutors, 150 investigators and paralegals. This was a neglected, unattended to office. We're changing everything in D.C., and we're going to make a difference. And thanks to President Trump and the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, we've got a full court press on this.
The DA, they're not prosecuting these crimes. Arrests are being made because you have to deal with this on the street. The officers are dealing with this head on the street. But when you get them in the system after booking, perhaps if they even book them, they're not prosecuting these crimes. So now when you hear crime is down in these major cities, this is what they're talking about. The numbers are being skewed. Whether they're being doctored or cooked, whether they're being doctored or cooked. I see why they call it Cook County now in Chicago, because they're cooking the books. They're not prosecuting these crimes. They're putting these people back on the streets. What incentive is that for that person to improve their behavior when they're not being prosecuted or incarcerated? You have a mayor that talks about incarceration doesn't work. He's talking about we've tried this before. What what reality is he living in where, thank God, I've never been in this position. I pray that no one I know or love is ever in that position. When someone has you at gunpoint, are you thinking about counseling? Are you thinking about talking to that person about their life choices and the things that put them in the position today when they were growing up to be in this position that they are today? Is that what we're doing now? Is that what we're doing? Keep in mind, and this is why I feel that this topic is important. The news is the enemy of the people. The news is not covering these issues. They're not tackling this head on. They're not talking to people in the community. They don't want to talk to people in the community because they don't want you to know the truth. All you hear from is Governor Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson. They are the voice of the people in Chicago. If the news runs to them and they ask them these questions, they're not going into the hood talking to these people. Now you got to watch TikTok if you want the real story. Yes, you will get a couple of outliers that talks about the issue of crime in Chicago. You're going to get people that are so comfortable, so used to crime. They've probably been generations of crime, growing up with generations of crime in Chicago. They are comfortable with it now. And now that something is being done about it, they are uncomfortable. Imagine that. The real question you need to ask, we need to ask ourselves about Chicago: how many more lives have to be lost maliciously before the governor and the mayor take actual notice? We know they know it's going down. How many more lives must we lose? How many more lives in the community need to be lost before they take this situation seriously?